Hey, how's it going? It's actually been a while since I've practiced my cinematography, but today we're back and I'm actually gonna take you with me. I'm also really excited for it, I hope you're too. But before we grab that camera, we have to make a plan. Let's grab the textbook to not only get inspired by, but to also analyze what the pros have done, to also learn and improve something new for today. I've been using the site the past few months not only to browse and have fun, but also to actually do some work with it. And since it offers commercials, music videos and movies, that's a whole lot more that you can find. And I had to do quite a few treatments, director's treatments, so that's been great to pitch the clients, and every treatment then finally also landed the client. So that's pretty huge and also makes it unique. But as I said, not only for treatments, it's also great for cinematography and for colorists and pretty much anyone in the field. So today we're doing a recreation or sort of inspired by cinematography practice shoot, and I already have something in my mind, so let's see what we can find. Because it should also work with the location that I have. This page is really well made and you can already tell by the design. It's great. You can even switch from dark mode to bright mode, which I'm not a big fan. I'm usually team dark mode, but you might see things differently and you can change that. So that's a nice little detail. You get a lot of options for filtering your search by text, obviously. Sometimes typing isn't enough and you're pretty unlucky to find the exact thing that you're looking for. But then when you find one, actually you can simply search by frame and it's gonna find you similar ones, and that's huge for me. They also always have the credits for the project, so you can not only browse by genre, cinematographer, actor, set designer, editor, colorist. You get this. They also offer you to mark your favorites and to create sets. Obviously this part is sponsored since I've partnered up with frameset app, but if you think this page is cool and you wanna get it yourself, you can use the link in the description. You can also use the code Jared for 10% off. To save ourselves some time, here are some stills that I think would work great for today's recreation. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but I guess we're gonna see. I think this one would work pretty well because it's a simple background. We do have some practical that actually looks pretty similar to the one that my grandpa owns. I don't have any wooden boards as a background or a wall, so I'm just gonna use this wooden cabinet. Also, he actually got such a phone from the 70s, so that's pretty cool, and this should match pretty well, so we're definitely trying to recreate this one. Or we could do this one, but I think maybe we do both and then do another one that is gonna be inspired by a few stills. But I'm definitely gonna do at least one recreation today. I personally always really love having vintagey old stuff. I just love old stuff, and that's why I'm gonna go visit my grandpa, because he does have a lot of great things, so I think we're good. Gear-wise, we're just gonna use what we have. I brought the Flexlight, the B7C Bulb, my gels, and my 5-in-1 reflector. We're shooting on the Blackmagic 6K-G2 and I went with the Sigma 18-35 since it makes things faster for me, especially because I have to film myself. First things first, framing. Obviously I had to go up high because I'm quite tall, but luckily the practical could be set up high too. Then I changed the bulb in order to have control over intensity and color temperature. I think I ended up with 60%. Then I cut off all the ambient lights in the room to see where we're at. I was constantly comparing my shot with the reference, so I noticed that the practical was quite hot but at the same time exposed. So I stopped down to an f3. Oh, and we're shooting raw, but I exposed at ISO 400 and my white balance was 4300 Kelvin. Then what's missing was more key on my face. So I brought in the Flexlight at 3000 Kelvin, which worked. However, I noticed it spilling on the shade of the lamp, which tells you that there is a different light. So I used the black side of the 5-in-1 to flag off the spill and cut out the light's direction to fall on my face. Sure, and both the practical and the key light were both matched to the same color temperature. Now I also have a tweenie, and it would have been easier to shape with it since it has barn doors and a Fresnel. However, it eats 650 watt, it gets hot, and it smells bad. And I know my grandpa wouldn't like that. And you can't just change the intensity like that, so you would have needed the gels that I brought anyways. But I didn't end up using them. But you never know. But yeah, that's basically the shot. Then finished up with grading and shaping the light even more, especially put in some more neck from the right side. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. I actually like mine more, I think. I mean, the goal was to recreate and match the lighting, but I like where it went. You could also argue that the lighting isn't quite matched, and you're probably right. You can tell most of the lighting hits are more from below and doesn't land as soft as in my face. And you also got more spill on the background from the shade. Yeah, but on the other hand, my background is darker than in the reference, and also the shade of the lamp is different. It lets more light through from the side, so I couldn't really bring the intensity up without making the bulb visible, like clipped. Then I did another one, not necessarily inspired by stills, but more like the place itself. Also very simple and quick. Been having this shot in my mind for a while now, and the only thing I changed was the bulb, again to be in control, and the other light was just this pre-installed practical behind the curtain. If you made it until the end, I appreciate you, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Feel free to watch another video. Bye.